What's going on, you guys? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringle here, and we are back on the channel with another reaction video. Now, I know the Singapore Grand Prix is done and dusted, and they've made another change this year to the track, but I think one of the changes that was low-key really fun for me to watch was the Singapore Sling. Now, if you don't know what the Singapore Sling is, you're going to see it here in this video today, as we are going to see every crash and mistake at the Singapore Sling chicane from 2008 when the race initially started to 2012. They took it out in 2012 and put in the new iteration, which is now the straight on kind of turn, and it's kind of a little bit less technical as it is now, but I think the Singapore Sling was what made this racetrack fun. So let's get on into this video and let's react to some of the mistakes and crashes from the Singapore Sling. Jensen Button just going straight. You can tell in this video, you can clearly tell that they're afraid to go over the curbs for the very first time. Like, they're extremely, very shaky as to whether or not they want to go over those curbs. Man, just taking that curb, and then went to the exit curb just a little bit too hard. I'll tell you what, had they maybe brought those curbs down just a little bit, I think maybe maybe would have taken the curbs down and maybe widened it out a little bit. Maybe it would have, fans would have been more into it. But it punished those that basically tried to take advantage of the track limits. And right here, as you can see, Kimmy's ended up into the wall because he tried to take too much curb, which was, going past track limits. Taking off his right wheel there. Oh, man.
Look at this, Ruben from the limit there as a replay. Trying to weave his way through.
Man, that was impressive by Barrichello right there to keep it out of the wall. Absolutely impressive to keep it out of the wall.
It was terrible. I mean, it really is. Oh, there's that.
Man, just going way over that curb. Man, they were not afraid to take curb in this. Robert Kubica right there, you could tell was so hesitant and wanting to hit that third curb that he said, screw it, I'm going around it. I am not going to wreck my car by, trying to get this last corner. Now, watching it with the older cars, you can kind of see why they may have decided to get rid of the chicane. But again, I think had you widened it out a little bit and maybe filed those curbs down, I think it would have added to the racing there. And it's not a corner that you can really pass at, but I mean, let's be honest, in Formula One, there's barely any passing anyways, but at least I think it would have added to the track. And with Singapore, it was always so much fun to watch, just see what guys would take that chicane and see how they would take it and how fast they would go. Yep, you can see he did not want to hit that third curb.
Which has been modified manner. So it's not one that I've ever faced, and I'd rather not face it. Just to bring you back, something I think you mentioned at the start of the season.
Yeah, you can clearly tell in these videos.
Do you think he's
if you were to file down those curbs, the bumping wouldn't have been so bad, and I think you would have had a lot more guys try, or not necessarily put the raised curbs up, but widen it out and put the white track lines in the in the rumble strips there. I think you would have still had a really good corner there.
Copes very well in the Lions Den. I think
Jaime Alguersuari, that's a name you haven't heard of in quite a while. Jeez. My goodness.
Alonso's got the triple spotted one on there, so
Michael's like, screw that. I'm not even attempting this.
A long way behind his teammate. Oh, there's
Man,
really clunking the middle part of that.
I'm telling you what. Yeah, Jaime Alguersuari. I remember him for a short period of time, but like he was. You see things like this, and you can really tell why exactly he didn't stick in Formula One for a long time.
Pretty much an even match when Kimi was on his highest level, and that's what I was talking about before when Alguersuari did.
Now, see, he took that just fine that time. It looked like. Let's see.
You obviously spotted that.
My eagle eye, yeah, he used a lot of that actually, and got onto
the Hispania driver, and we can pick up.
Yeah, you can just clearly tell one little change, and it would have made that track. It would have made that area not nearly as bad as it looks.
Replay now. Just
Back when HRT was in Formula One.
just on turning, yeah, like you say.
Good Lord. No! Liuzzi from Force India. Oh my God. Total side note. Force India was one of my favorite teams. Force India and Caterham were always two of my favorite teams around this time when they were both in Formula One. I always wanted to see Force India do well, and I always wanted to see Adrian Sutil do well. He really deserved much more than he got. But sorry, total sidetrack. Sorry. There's it. This is the famous one. Oh, no, it's not the famous one. But Adrian's straight-lining that. Mark Webber straight-lined it as well. Mark Webber, like, you can just tell they're like, I'm not making this corner. I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm just going straight. Michael Schumacher and his final days at Mercedes. Man, I did not realize that Jaime Alguersuari was in Formula One as long as he was. That's really weird to like realize that he was in Formula One for a couple years there. Yep. There's one of the famous ones that sends you just straight shooting up, and those are the ones that like I think people, got a kick out of watching, but like in the grand scheme of things, obviously we knew it was ruining the car, but it was the punishment for going over the track limits. Kamui Kobayashi's another one of my favorite drivers. I would have loved to have seen stick around in Formula One a lot longer than he did. Lewis, nope, screw it. I'm not making it. I'm not going. You can't make me. Jerome D'Ambrosio. Good. Those manners, I kid you not. It was so sad to see the Manners, the Caterhams, and the HRTs just not be able to, to make a at least a decent enough splash that they would have been fighting for more midfield spots. Like it's sad to see that never really took place, and you saw those teams kind of work themselves up the grid. But again, this was in a time when just Ferrari was dominant. Red Bull was dominant, and they outspent everybody year after year after year just developing the best car they could. And they were able to outspend most other teams by, hundreds of millions. Shock, another Jaime Alguersuari clip. It's fantastic. Kamui Kobayashi. Oh, and into the wall he goes. That was That was one of the other punishments. You tried to take too much curb, and you were going into that wall. That's why I think had they widened that last part of the corner out, and maybe given it a little bit more space, you would have actually probably had a much better corner there. Michael going through there. I'm telling you. You guys think porpoising was bad, just hitting these bumps. Let's see how well he takes this. But see, he broke off a piece of his car there. You saw literally the piece. We'll try to rewind it as much as we can so you guys can see it. You may not see it here. Let me, the piece right here flies off. This little piece right here goes flying off. Like, that's how rough those curbs were. Roman. Roman. Look at that. That's, again, they could have done away with those sausage curbs and lower profiled those rumbles, the ripple strips there. That would have been a fantastic way to see those corners be taken. And you can see there, as soon as you knew you weren't making the corner, they were immediately shooting off, going straight on. There's another one. There's from HRT. I'll tell you what, that's actually not a bad paint job. I got to give HRT a little bit of credit there. It actually looks pretty cool there, you know, under the lights. But I know it's a total side. Sergio Perez in his early days at Sauber. Like, he's not taking the corner badly. Again, it's just... I do have to get... I mean, you can tell that they put that in there so that they could go a little bit wider and miss this one section, but I feel like they would have been much better off just, like, widening out a little bit and, you know, doing away... I keep saying it, I know I sound like a broken record, but I mean, truly, had they just widened this out a little bit more, I think this could have been a really interesting corner, and this could have been something that would have stuck around for a while. Sebastian Vettel going straight on there. Bruno Senna. Jeez, taking that curb just, and that was the bad part is if you hit one curb, your car was going straight no matter what. There was no amount of turning you could do to get that car not to go, you know, to not go straight. Roman at least made the attempt to make that corner. Like, he may have given himself a slight bit of whiplash there by hitting each curb, but he at least attempted it. He went in there with a bunch of speed. Sergio Perez locking up going into that corner. He's like, I'm not going to come close. I'll just go ahead and go straight on. Locked up that front right, and he was like, hey, this ain't going to turn. This ain't going to turn. Yeah, it's really... God, lovely helmet. Look at that color of the yellow and the red in Sebastian Vettel's helmet. So cool looking. Can you just imagine... Like, think about it. Like, in Formula 1 now, we have the ground effects under the car. Can you just imagine how, like, torn up the floor would look in these new cars if you were to race them on this track now with the Singapore Sling the way it used to be? Like, good Lord, I would hate all the work that they would have to put into those cars to fix them and fix the floor. Man, just being smart and really just, you know, not wanting to really hurt themselves, which, well, hold on, there we go. Would not really wanting them to hurt themselves, which I get, you know, and they went straight on, smart move, but I really truly feel like there were some changes that could have tried to be made to make that corner more amazing and to keep it around. Because I think that's a bit of nostalgia from the Singapore Grand Prix ever since that race was introduced that made that racetrack what it was. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of the Singapore Sling and what you guys thought of this video. What were some other crashes there, or what were some other mistakes that maybe this video missed? Let me know that in the comment section down below, guys. As always, slap a like on these reaction videos to push this video to more and more Formula One fans, and even fans that may not be a fan of Formula One, but maybe a fan of reaction videos. So make sure you guys hit that like button. And guys, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button for more daily and weekly Formula One content. We're down to the last 6 races of the season. It is almost all said and done. We're going to have a tier list ranking our 2023 drivers coming up very soon. So much more to come. But guys, hit that subscribe button if you're new. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. For the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringel, signing off.